What's going on, everyone? Austin John Plays here, and today we have a bunch of brand new information about the new upcoming service for Pokemon Home for the Nintendo Switch and mobile devices. First of all, real quick, to celebrate the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake, the Galarian Zapdos, who looks a lot like a Chocobo, we've made that into official merch with Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII. Get it at austinjohnplays.com/merch, now available. Since Pokemon came to the 3DS, we had a service called Pokemon Bank, which allowed you to transfer your Pokemon between different versions of Pokemon on the 3DS system, in addition to importing it from older games on the 3DS system and the virtual games. But now there's going to be a new service coming to the Nintendo Switch as well as mobile devices called Pokemon Home. We were teased about this at the investors meeting almost a full year ago, and today we have some concrete evidence for Pokemon Home that's set to release February 2020. Pokemon Home is a cloud service for Nintendo Switch and compatible mobile devices designed as a place where all Pokemon gather. Great. By linking the same Nintendo account to both Switch version and the mobile version, you'll be able to access the same Pokemon boxes on both versions. Sweet. There is a free version of Pokemon Home. It doesn't have a lot of features, but you're mostly going to be getting the premium version. And throughout this entire video and all these articles, they're going to be going over all the things that are included with both versions. The first and most important is your ability to move Pokemon between different games. The Nintendo Switch version of Pokemon Home supports connectivity with the Nintendo Switch games, Sword, Shield, Pikachu, and Eevee. Both the Nintendo Switch version and mobile device version of Pokemon Home allow you to connect between the 3DS software of Pokemon Bank. That means that if you do not own a Nintendo Switch already, but you plan to and you want to import your Pokemon from Pokemon Home, you could do that with a cell phone. Once a Pokemon from Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee is moved into Sword or Shield, it cannot be moved back to Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee. However, you can move Pokemon from Let's Go Pikachu to Let's Go Eevee or vice versa. So it sounds like you can move freely between Sword and Shield to Pokemon Home for all supported Pokemon, the 435 that there are. You can import from Pokemon Bank. You can import from Pikachu and Eevee into Home and then export to Pikachu and Eevee from Home. However, because of the AV system that Pokemon are formatted in for Let's Go, once transferred to Pokemon Sword and Shield, is then going to format to the Eevee IV system, which is the more traditional system. It also says down here that Pokemon Go support is going to be coming soon. So as of right now, you can import Kanto Pokemon into Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee if you have it, and then into Pokemon Home. So you could get your original 150 Kanto Pokemon into Sword and Shield that way. Pokemon Sword and Shield can link to the Nintendo Switch version of Pokemon Home. Once the games are linked, you can deposit or retrieve Pokemon that can be obtained using those games. So that's the 400 Pokemon in the Galarian Dex, as well as the available Pokemon, which if you didn't know who those are, that includes Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, Mewtwo, Mew, Celebi, Jirachi, Cobalion, Terrakion, Virizion, Reshiram, Zekrom, Kyurem, Keldeo, Rowlet, Dartrix, Decidueye, Litten and its evolutionary line, Poplo and its evolutionary line, Cosmog and both evolutionary lines into Solgaleo and Lunala, Necrozma, Marshadow, Zeraora, Meltan, and Melmetal. Now here's something important. This is the first premium-only feature that we've seen. If you're enrolled in the premium plan, which is paid, you'll be able to move Pokemon from the 3DS Pokemon titles to Pokemon Home using Pokemon Bank. Once a Pokemon from Bank is moved into Home, it cannot be moved back into Bank. So once you transfer it from Pokemon Bank into Pokemon Home, you will not be able to use Pokemon Bank for those Pokemon. Now what they did here is really smart. If you do get a premium subscription for Pokemon Home, you do get a free month of Pokemon Bank. That way you could transfer all your 3DS titles into Pokemon Home during that 1 month period. To commemorate the release of Home, we're going to make Pokemon Bank and Pokemon Transporter available at no cost for a month after Pokemon Home is released. Now let's get on to the trading features for Pokemon Home. Now one of the really interesting parts here is that you can only trade Pokemon on your cell phone. I know it's a little weird. So basically, you're gonna transfer on the Nintendo Switch to home, and then if you want to do any trading, you're gonna take out your cell phone, you're gonna go to home, and that's where you're gonna do your trading. However, there's actually a bunch of trading features, and good news, the GTS is back. Use your mobile device to trade Pokemon anytime, anywhere. There are 4 ways to trade Pokemon using Pokemon Home on your mobile device. One is the Wonder Box. If you're familiar with Wonder Trade, or as it's coined in Sword and Shield, Surprise Trade, that's basically trading one of your Pokemon for another random Pokemon that you don't know what it is. However, now it's been formatted into an entire box. Pokemon placed in the Wonder Box can be traded with Pokemon around the world before you even know it. The Pokemon placed in the Wonder Box will be traded even when you're not using Home. If you do not have the premium version of Pokemon Home and you only have the free version has 3 spaces for Wonder Box. If you have the premium version, it has 10 spaces in Wonder Box. If we look to the illustration here, what do you want to do with Rotom? Deposit it. Here are the full 10 spaces that you get in the premium version of Pokemon Home. And then this is assumingly what it looks like after the Pokemon is traded while you're not even paying attention. And boom, it got this ugly bird. The GTS is back! We've been missing this since the release of Pikachu and Eevee. This stood for the Global Trade System. If you're not familiar, this is a system that you get to put in one of your Pokemon and request another Pokemon. It is extremely useful, however, it does get overrun with people who are putting in a Caterpie and asking for Arceus. With the Global Trade System, you're able to specify which Pokemon you want to trade with and Pokemon you want to receive, and then be matched with a trainer whose requests meet your criteria. You'll even be able to request Pokemon that you haven't registered in Pokemon Home's National Dex. Oh, by the way, there's a National Dex. If you have the free version of Pokemon Home, you can put in 1 Pokemon into the GTS. If you have the premium version, you could put 3 Pokemon into the GTS, as you see right here, which is pretty neat. You get to specify the Pokemon that you want, its gender preference, level preference, and any specific games that it came from. This is a new feature that we haven't seen yet. Now, previously there were some restrictions in regard to legendary and mythical Pokemon being put in the GTS and in them actually showing up, so I'm interested to see how well that's going to work out. Here's a feature I'm sure little to no one's going to use called Room Trade, where you basically put 20 people in a room and it's a mystery trade between those 20 people. I'm gonna summarize it as that and not go over the article. It seems kinda lame, honestly. Friend trade. So you can register friends in the Pokemon Home app, and then you're going to be able to trade with those friends. So you either do the GTS, or now there's probably going to be a new friends list. They haven't specified how you're going to be able to go between, you know, trading, if it's going to be an ID code, or if it's going to be its own separate code, or linked to a Nintendo account. They should just link everything to the Nintendo account and be done with it, but for some reason they don't. So we'll find out. Now we get into the additional features of Pokemon Home. 1, the National Dex. The National Dex is a way that you could see all of the Pokemon in its National Dex order between all of the games. On mobile, it's going to display 15 Pokemon at a time. On the Nintendo Switch version, we're going to see 48 Pokemon at a time, which is actually going to make going through these pretty easy. We're also going to see that you can apply filters, meaning that you can search Pokemon by possibly region, evolutionary line, typings, abilities, genders, shininess, etc. You're also going to be able to see the various versions of a Pokemon. As we can see right here, we see the information for Mega Charizard, and then we also see the information for Gigantamax Charizard, even though Mega Charizard is not supported. And since Mega Charizard is only brought on by an item, it's weird. Does that mean that if you transfer a Charizard from X and Y, you automatically get the information on Charizard? Or what? I'm not too sure how that's going to work, and they don't specify. And while on the mobile version of Pokemon Home, you're going to be able to see more information than just the entries. You can check out a Pokemon's abilities and the moves it can learn, which is pretty neat. Mystery gifts. You can receive mystery gifts in the mobile device version of Pokemon Home. With this feature, you can receive mystery gifts for Sword and Shield, as well as gifts specifically for Home. Pokemon received in Home can be directly deposited in a box in Pokemon Home. Depending on your device and operating system version, some features may not be supported. As we see right here, gifts you can get in your area. So there's a local event check, codes, and code patterns. No information on what any of that is going to be, but I'm sure we're going to find out in the future. Does this mean that we now have another app in order to go between all the promotional events? What about Pokemon Pass? Are they already ditching Pokemon Pass? Does this have Pokemon Pass built into it now? You could also get some items such as Pokemon by receiving a code for a mystery gift in home and then using that code in Sword and Shield. Huh, that's neat. There's going to be a judge function only if you have the premium plan. If you're not familiar, the judge function tells you the individual values of a Pokemon when it is in a box. What's interesting here is it looks like they're using the official artwork versions of these Pokemon and not what we've seen previously with them using the 2D sprites. Huh. You also have like an ability to set up a profile with stickers called Your Room. In the future, you're going to be able to see your ranked battle data on the fly using the mobile version, which is pretty neat. In addition, there's going to be news about different distribution events going on and online competitions, so turn on notifications. This is something really neat. The more Pokemon you deposit in Pokemon Home, the more BP you're going to accumulate, battle points. Previously, with Pokemon Bank, it was you deposit all battle points into one game, but now you're going to be able to choose specifically how many points you want to go into any of your owned games, which is really neat. So say for example you want to pick up a couple items in Sword and Shield, you can totally do that. Deposit 20 BP and then, you know, you're not dipping into your whole bank there. Oh, you see there's a max of 9,999. And then lastly, let's get to the version features and the premium features. To move Pokemon from Pikachu, Eevee, Sword, and Shield, you can only do that on the Switch version. That makes sense, that's where the Pokemon are coming from. Move Pokemon with Pokemon Bank, that means organize your boxes. You can do that on mobile and Switch version. The judge function is going to be available on both. You can only trade Pokemon on the mobile version, not on the Switch version. In addition, you can only receive mystery gifts on the mobile version. You can only check battle data once that's available on the mobile version, check news on the mobile version, and exchange Pokemon Home points for BP is only for the Nintendo Switch version. And then lastly, let's get to the premium features. If you want to pick up Pokemon Home, it's $3 for a month, $5 for a quarter, and $16 for a year. This is quite a bit of this is actually $10 more expensive than it was for Pokemon Bank, which was I believe $5.99 USD for an entire year, but now we're looking at $16 for a year. Only with the premium version can you transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Bank on the 3DS. Number of Pokemon that can be deposited. Basic is 30 Pokemon. That's one box. So basically, if you don't want to get the premium service, Pokemon Home is going to function solely as a place that you can come and trade some Pokemon, not as a place that you're going to be organizing them. So therefore, there is no paywall for you to use features like the GTS and Wonder Trade that you may want to use. This is fantastic and a great way for you to complete your Galarian Pokédex without paying any money or trading with anyone that you actually know. Premium membership allows you to put 6,000 Pokemon in. This is double what we saw with Pokemon Bank. That was 3,000 Pokemon. I actually know some people who have 2 Pokemon Bank subscriptions. At that point, they're paying $12 a year, and now it's only a stone's throw for $16 a year. Number of Pokemon that can be put in the Wonder Box, 3 on Basic, 10 on Premium. Pokemon in the GTS, 1 on Basic, 3 on Premium. Room Trade, you can only participate under Basic, but Premium can also host them. And the judge function is not available for Basic plans, only Premium. There we go, guys. That is all the information we need for Pokemon Home. We do not have an actual set release date. All we know is that it's coming February of this year. It's now the 28th of January, and there's 28 days in February, so we are exactly 1 month or less away from this being released. I think it's fantastic that they're having you being able to use the GTS for Pokemon Home with a free service. So, yeah. Guys, I want to know your thoughts down below. Leave a comment down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. Until next time, Austin John out.